So today I have a products not worth the hype, or products I regret buying, or disappointing products. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna call it. I'm doing this in collaboration with one of my best friends ever, not just on YouTube or anything like that, but in real life. Dana Ann. I think this might be the first collab that we do together. Every time, a lot of you guys who know that we're friends ask us to do videos together. Every time we get together, we just can't want to. Like, we're so busy having fun and hanging out that we're just like, we just don't sit down together to do it. So we figured that we both wanted to do a disappointing products video, and we thought it would be nice to collab. If you don't know who Dana is, she is a beautiful, amazing, sweet, hilarious, perfect hair. I call her my Vidal Sassoon hair. We legit go out in public and, like, I'm not even exaggerating, but like 5 to 10 people are like, oh, Dana, I love your hair. And I'm like over here like flipping my hair around. Because basically, if you're gonna hang out with her in public, you're pretty much invisible because her hair is like perfection. So maybe someone like Pantene or something needs to get a hold of her. But if you guys don't know who she is, I will leave her channel linked down below. She's fabulous. You'll love her. If you're coming from Dana's channel, hi, I'm Laura. Welcome to my channel, and I hope that you subscribe and stick around a while. So we're just going to talk about some products that disappointed us. The majority of the products I have, I would categorize as they're not necessarily crappy, they just didn't work for me, or they didn't work as well as I wanted them to for the amount of money that they cost. So I'm gonna kind of go over each product and I'll tell you whether it was like didn't work for me and the reasons why. So if you have opposite skin or an opposite thing as the reason why, it might work for you. All of these brands are not bad brands. Every single company puts out products and it's not gonna work for everyone. That's just the way it is. So we're just gonna go ahead and get into what I have that just didn't work for me. Okay, I have 2 different makeup wipes that just really did not work for me. The first ones are from e.l.f. They're really affordable. These burn my eyes, burn my face, just don't work for me. They're very, very saturated with product, but I find on my eyes, the product like legit stings my eyes. And for that reason, I use these to wipe off swatches and stuff on my hand. They have a pretty strong fragrance, but yeah, they like take makeup off. Well, I mean, holy pro, I'm really having to rub hard here. So yeah, I mean, they take stuff off, but they have a lot of like saturation in them, which I typically do like, but not from a makeup wipe that like the fragrance and the product just burns my eyes. So yeah, these just don't work for me. The next ones are from Pacifica. I've tried several different Pacifica wipes and I'm not a fan. These are the essential makeup removing wipes with jasmine, coconut water, facial towelettes. They just don't take off makeup, period. They really don't. I could rub and rub and rub and it just smears my product around on my eyes, on my face. Product comes off on the towelette, but it's just, whatever it is, the natural ingredients in it just doesn't work. I really wish it did because they smell so incredible, but they just don't take any product off. Okay, the next product up is from NYX. This is their contour kit. Now, these shades look like it's going to be perfect. I think that the price of this, they lowered the price of it. I think it was $30. Maybe they lowered it to $22. It has like the typical banana color, these colors right here. It looks like it's gonna be perfect. Extremely chalky and patchy on the face. When you blend it in, it literally skips. And the product just doesn't work to be blending into the skin. I don't know what it is. This is more of a really great eyeshadow palette. When I'm using it to contour, it constantly looked muddy. Like I said, skipped around a lot. It just did not look good on the face. I think for the amount of money, I mean, if you can hear this, it's rickety. The packaging is rickety. These are supposed to pop out, but it sounds, yeah, so they pop out. But it just sounds cheap and it applies cheap. If you're looking for a great contour kit, I really like the Kat Von D Shade in Light and the Anastasia contour kits. This is just not good from the drugstore. Okay, for foundations, I kind of have several foundations here. So the first one that I'm going to start off with might be surprising to some people. This is the new Remarkable foundation from Marc Jacobs. It's an extremely full coverage foundation. It's very, very expensive, and I had high hopes for it. I really, really wanted this to work. On my skin, it just looked like a straight up mask, and it broke down throughout the day, and you could literally see it sitting on the skin. I mean, like, a little bit goes a long way, but it's super duper pigmented, and I felt like it adhered to little dry patches on my face. I don't have a ton of dry patches, but any dry patches that I did have, it just looked like it was sitting right on top of there. So I don't find that this is a very natural foundation, and it's definitely not good if you have dry skin. I don't think it's very hydrating at all. It's probably better for those who need extremely full coverage, don't mind the looks like you're wearing makeup look, and I just didn't find that it wore on my skin and made my skin look good. This is one of those products that it's like, it's just not worth the money to me. The next foundation is the Dior Air Flash. This falls in the category of I don't think it's worth the money. In concept, this foundation is one that you shake up and you're supposedly supposed to spray it on your face. I find when you're spraying it directly on your face, it gets your eyelashes the same color, it gets your eyebrows the same color. It just becomes a mess. There's not a lot of accuracy with it. So the way that I've seen a lot of people apply it is spraying it onto a brush and then applying it to their face, which kind of defeats the purpose of an airbrush foundation. The coverage is just so-so. It's an okay coverage, but I don't find that it wears a really long time. Again, it kind of breaks down on my face. You don't get a ton of product. I have the color 201. I believe this is color Linen. It is a great color match for me, but would I purchase this again for the amount of money that it costs? No, I definitely don't think it's worth it. I still have hung on to it and tried to use it up, but it's just one of those foundations that every time I do try and use it up, it's on those days that I really am not going to be going anywhere, and I don't want that when I'm buying a Dior foundation. You want to reserve those for like special occasions, not for the days that you're not going to be doing anything. But that's how I feel when I'm wearing this, because I can't count on it. So if I can't count on my foundation to hold up or look good, then it's not a foundation that's personally worth the money. The last foundation that I personally just don't like, I love Too Faced, is the Too Faced Born This Way. It breaks up on my skin. I have normal to occasionally dry skin. It makes me look oily, and I can see it on top of my skin. It definitely doesn't look like I was born this way. So foundation just doesn't work for me. I've seen it look absolutely gorgeous on so many people, so I know that it works for a lot of different people, but for my normal to occasionally dry skin, I don't find that this wears a long time on me, and it always ends up looking very greasy in my T-zone, and I don't even have a problem with grease. So this one is just a disappointing product for me because I really wanted it to work so bad. It just doesn't for me. This is one of those products that it's not that I don't think it's beautiful, it's that I don't think it's worth the money. It is the Giorgio Armani Eyes to Kill eyeshadow in number 5. I bought this because Desi, Jaclyn Hill, a bunch of people were talking about it. And I'm a huge fan of like my L'Oreal shadows or my Colourpop shadows, which are way more affordable. So this was my very first Eyes to Kill eyeshadow. It's a gorgeous bronze color, it really is, but it just looks so on your eye. When I put it on my eye, it just felt a little bit more dry than the Colourpop shadows or even than the L'Oreal Infallibles. And the color is beautiful, but I think these are like $30-some. They're much more dry. That looks really beautiful. It really does. But I think you can get the same effect with the color Smog from the Naked palette. It looks very similar to this in my opinion. So you can get the same amount of metallicness, the same amount of pigmentation, and I just think that this, when I put it on my eye, it just doesn't look like it does swatched. It just doesn't look like anything special, and I found that like once I blended it in, it was just so for me. I don't know. For the amount of money, I think that I could find, like if I already had the Naked palette and I had the color Smog, or a Colourpop eyeshadow that's similar would do the trick. So $33 or something that's like maybe around the $5 to $10 range, I think you can get the same look. So this just wasn't worth it for me. It disappointed me a little bit because when I put it on my eyes, I wanted it to literally wow me. and it didn't. Okay, a couple of mascaras that I just had some super high hopes for. One is the Benefit Roller Lash. I don't know what this is. I just feel like it makes my lashes fall. It does. I liked it in the beginning. I was using it a lot because it has a really small wand, and I do like the way that it can get my bottom lashes. But as for keeping the volume in my lashes and keeping them curled, I don't find that this keeps my lashes curled. I honestly find that my lashes stick straight out. This just didn't work for me. Mascaras are such a hard product to recommend because everyone's lashes are so different. So take it with a grain of salt because a lot of these mascaras come highly recommended from people. Another one that came highly recommended from a lot of people was the Estee Lauder one. This is their Sumptuous Extreme. The wand on this is enormous. It takes up your whole eye. Really hard to get accuracy with it. It's a very wet formula. Very wet, more wet than any formula I've ever tried, and I just didn't like the way it built on my lashes. It got really clumpy really quick. It did give lots of volume, but it was like, I don't know, it was just so wet and it was there and it just took a long time to dry. I just don't like it with the size of the wand. So these two just disappointed me a little bit. They just didn't work for me. More lip products that were disappointing to me. These are the Smashbox Be Legendary lip lacquers. I really wanted to like these, but I just didn't find that they lasted too well on the lips. This is a really beautiful color, but when I apply it to my lips, it just gets like sticky and kind of goops up and goes away. It doesn't wear for very long and it's kind of patchy. It's inconsistent across the board with the colors. I just don't love this formula. Okay, the next product that I just do not think is worth it are the YSL Glossy Stains. I don't like these. If you're gonna be spending money on a YSL product, I really like the tint and oils. Those are probably my favorite. Even the lipsticks I find have a very opaque application, but they slip right off. I mean, for the amount of money that you spend, it's just not worth it. This has like a doe foot applicator. This is a beautiful color. I really like the color. It's number 15, but these just do not wear very well on the lips. Once they dry down, they do leave a stain, but they have like this almost like tackiness when you put your lips together. I just hate the feeling of it. They honestly have something in them. I don't know what type of product it is in them, but it just doesn't make it, like almost burns my lips. I've tried several different colors, but they're just not my favorite. I know that the drugstore has come out with so many different comparable products to the Glossy Stains, so I recommend spending the money on more of a drugstore product than I do on a high-end one. A lot of people really love these Glossy Stains. I just didn't find that they work for me and they just weren't worth the money. Again, some of these brands I absolutely love, but within their lines, some of these products just don't work for me. If they work for you, I think that's great, and you can go ahead and leave that down below because somebody who's reading it might have the same experience that you do. So I don't want you to think that just because they don't work for me that they're not going to work for anyone. This is just why they don't work for me. But Colourpop came out with bronzers. They had blushes, highlighters, eyeshadows, the whole gamut, but they came out with bronzers. I was really excited. I picked up this color in Skinny Dip. It's a really beautiful color and it swatches really nice. And in theory, it's really nice. But when you're applying the cream bronzer in this particular formula, it just skips a lot. I found it really difficult to blend into the skin no matter what type of brush I used. Even in finger application, it just didn't get a very even application on my cheeks. I think that the products of the blush and highlighter are just more suited for the face in this particular formula. A bronzer just doesn't translate. It needs to be a little bit different of a consistency of a cream product to be working on the face and to have a really nice even application for what people are looking for in their bronzer. So yeah, this just was a little bit of a miss for me. Okay, this was a product that recently just came out from YSL. Look at the packaging. It's absolutely perfection. This is actually called the Touche Éclat Blur Perfector. I tried this in so many different ways. This was sent to me for review purposes from influencers. So I tried it out and really, really wanted to love it. I could not get this to work. This is a balm product that you are supposed to be able to use on top of your face. It comes with a little pad to use, and you're supposed to press it into your skin. Use it, you can use it before your makeup, you can use it after your makeup. It kind of takes the shine away and really just gives you that airbrush look. No, it doesn't. The product moves around your foundation. It doesn't, I don't know what it is, kind of lost in translation. When you take the product off here and you're putting it onto your face, the tackiness in the balm is just tacky enough to kind of shift and move whatever makeup you have. Even when you're using it to press on, it just doesn't work. When you're pressing it on, you're kind of getting glumps of product. If you try and spread that product out, it shifts your foundation and moves everything, and just it looks like a hot mess. So this is a very expensive product. It just did not work for me. However, I tried it, so yeah. This one was just one giant flop. The last products up are not necessarily bad products by any means. These are products that fall into the category of, I just don't think they're worth it. I have better products that do a better job, that I like more, that I would spend my money on. They are the new Anastasia highlighters. I know. I feel like this is going to be something that a lot of people do not agree with me on. And again, this is just my opinion. I purchased these highlighters and was really excited. This one is in So Hollywood. Beautiful colors, really they are, but they're more of a dry formula. So, and this one is in Starlight. This one's more gold, this one's more white. Now, when you run your finger across them, they're very, I mean, they pick up pigmentation, very pigmented, but they're dry. They're not as like buttery and creamy as I thought they would be. They're more of a dry formula. On my brush, it seems like they pick up pigmentation, but it's a little bit patchy when I'm applying them. I just don't find that they're anything where I would say, yes, this is so amazing, I need them. They're $28 each, which I think is, you know, rather expensive. But I have a lot of other highlighters that I love more. I love my Becca highlighters. I find those are so soft and buttery and creamy, and these just feel very, very dry. This one, again, it's beautiful. It really is, but it just didn't even last on my skin for very long. For some reason, I just couldn't see it. And then this one is the more white shade, and this is in Starlight. This one is a very unique one. It's very light and it has like a pink duochrome to it, but it just didn't stay on my skin. So for that reason, I just don't find that they're worth the $28. When you're thinking about $28 for a highlighter, Anastasia has palettes of eyeshadows. I think for like 12 eyeshadows, you're getting them for almost $30. So I don't know, the price is just what really throws me on these, and I just expected them to be a little bit more of a buttery formula is what I was thinking, and I wanted them to last more on my skin and wow me. Like this one right here, like it's already almost kind of gone, and for the metallicness of it, I really wanted it to be something super special. I have a ton of other highlighters that I think I'll grab for more, so for that reason, I just was a little bit disappointed with it. Okay, that wraps up my disappointing products, or products that I just don't think are worth purchasing. Again, I love all of these brands, and there are hits within every single brand. The products that didn't work for me might work for you, but these are just my opinions. If you're interested in hearing more products or more disappointing products or products that someone regrets purchasing, head over to Dana's channel and check out her video. I can't wait to see what she picked out. If you enjoyed this video and you like videos like this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Mwah.